Now this video is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do. This is not going to be a tutorial, it's going to be a kind of a channel update, if you want to call it that. So if you have been following me on YouTube, you may have noticed that the videos are not coming in every week. I try to do one every 2 weeks at least. And one reason for that is, of course, I had a baby in July, so that's taking up a lot of my time. And also I'm building a course for you guys, so I'm building a course about WordPress and Nextjs. And in this video I want to show you what I've done so far. So I'm currently developing the application that we are going to be building, and I want to talk a little bit about the course in general and what you can expect from it. So let's get to it. As I've said, I'm building a new course. This course is going to be on Udemy and is going to be a paid course. So this is the first one for me. I'm building a paid course. I will talk a little bit more about how much it's going to cost and so on near the end of this video. But for now, I just want to show you what we are going to be building in that course, because I'm currently kind of nearing the end of developing the actual application. So the application that we are going to be building is going to be Nextjs and WordPress. Now, it's going to be similar to something that we did with Strapi and Nextjs, but it's going to be much more in depth, and we are going to cover more things on the Nextjs side and on the WordPress side. The reason I chose WordPress is because, well, Strapi is great, October is great, and all of those other platforms, they're really nice platforms made just for setting up your APIs and so on. But the clients still want WordPress, right? WordPress runs almost 25 to 30% of all the sites on the internet. So I wanted to make a course that is going to utilize Nextjs, which is, at least in my opinion, one of the greatest frameworks around right now, and WordPress, which is one of the greatest CMSs around right now. So what we are going to be doing, of course, I'm going to stick to the movies template that we are always doing in my tutorials. So we are going to get the movies from WordPress, right? So this is the front page. It's going to have the latest movies on it. We are not going to touch much of the CSS because I decided just to use Bootstrap, and not even React Bootstrap, but just simple old plain Bootstrap, well, version 5, so it's in alpha, just to get this site looking at least a little bit respectable. So we are not going to be focusing on CSS, but we are going to be focusing on functionality of our site. So what have I done so far? Well, of course, we are listing the movies. That's easy. If you go to all movies, you will be able to filter those movies by genre. So if I want to filter comedy movies, drama movies, and so on, you can filter them by actors. So if I choose Steve Carell, I will get just one movie. If I don't choose Steve Carell, if I choose someone else, so for example Carrie-Anne Moss, we don't have any movies that match criteria of comedy, drama, and Carrie-Anne Moss. You can also filter it by directors. We will develop a pagination for our movies. So currently we don't have it when we filter it, but when you list out all of the movies, you have the pagination, right? So it works this way. It's going to use SSR, so server-side rendering, for fetching the data, but also when you filter the data, we are going to be using SWR plugin for Nextjs, and we are going to get those filters on the client side. So if I choose comedy, drama, action, and so on, we should get pagination right now because we have enough movies. So this pagination works on client side, the other pagination works on server side, and so on. You will see it's pretty nice, right? So we have that. We have the ability to rate the movies. Of course, you have the ability to view the movie. This is nothing special. You will have the ability to rate the movies. So for now, if I want to rate this movie, for example, I'll click this, but I need to be signed in to rate the movie. So I can go to the sign in, or if I don't have an account, I can sign up for an account. And We will make, of course, some form validations right here. We will make it so that if I do something like, right, if I click submit, this user already exists. If I screw up my email, I will get the invalid email and so on. I can, of course, sign in, which will lead me to my profile page. I need to do this profile page. It's not done just yet. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do about it. Maybe I will make it so that you can change your password and so on from this page, but I'm not sure about that yet. So you can, of course, you have your profile, you have your Hello John Doe. Now you can go to your movies. You can now rate the movie, right? You rate it, great. As you can see, when I rate it, the rating is going to change immediately. Well, maybe not for this movie. Let's try it on this movie right here. It's now 3.5 because it's still 3.5. It's probably 3.5 something when I rate it here. When I rate this movie, they should go up and so on. Of course, you can't rate the movies twice. So if I click it again, it says you already voted. Sorry, not sorry. For the movies that are not yet rated yet, you will get the message, be the first one to rate this movie. So you can rate it. Now it has a 5-star rating and so on. So we will do all of that. Also, we will create a blog, which will, of course, also have pagination, which is practically, actually the same component as I showed you before. You will have categories that you can filter your blog posts by. So if I go right here, I will get this category. Also, we will try to make some blocks React ready, right? So when you get your data from Gutenberg in WordPress, you will get something like this. So I made all of the images to use the image component from Nextjs. Also, I made this gallery widget that you get from your blocks to work in a React way, right? So it's not just HTML that you're getting from WordPress, but this is actually getting the data from that block and creating another React component which does this, for example, right? The same thing is with this component right here and so on. I must warn you, when we will be doing this, we can't cover all the blocks, and all the blocks, and most of the blocks actually don't provide you with enough data so that you can make a good React component from it without much custom coding, right? So we are going to do what we can on that front. Of course, you have about and contact pages. This menu is also coming from WordPress. We are going to be using a lot of plugins. Well, not a lot. I mean, Nextjs plugins, not that much, but we are going to be using SWR, we are going to be using Nextjs, we are going to be using Formic, we are actually going to be using a plugin for these stars and so on. This is just to show you how Nextjs and React ecosystem is very large, and that's what I like about it. Just like WordPress has many plugins, also React has many plugins, so we will try to make all of the heavy lifting with some of those plugins. Of course, we are going to be doing some of the custom coding ourselves, because what would be the point of just using plugins? But for something like these stars, we don't need to make those stars by ourselves. We can just use a plugin for that. Or for SWR is going to be used for client-side data fetching, which is going to do caching for you, revalidation, and so on. So none of those things we done in our free tutorials. So this is the current state of the application right now. I'm going to add some more things to it, and then I'm going to get to recording the actual course. In the meantime, if you have any suggestions for this application, please feel free to write them in the comments. I can't promise that I will actually do what you ask, but I would like to have some suggestions, because maybe I didn't think of something that would be very interesting for you to be implemented in this course. And one thing I forgot to mention is, of course, this is going to be a tutorial that is going to cover everything from start to finish. So we are going to make this application, and also I'm going to show you how to deploy that application to production. We are probably going to be using Vercel and some shared hosting or something like that. I will get to it. I'm not exactly sure yet just what we are going to be doing. Now I just want to talk a little bit about the course in general. So it's probably going to be on Udemy. I'm saying probably because I haven't planned all of that out. My first concern and what I'm focused on right now is getting this application done and then making a course out of it. So recording all of the videos. After that, I'm going to probably put it on Udemy. The price, I don't know about the price, but I'm going to try to keep it around 20 bucks. And of course, there's probably going to be a promotional period when the course is going to cost even less. So I don't want to make this course very expensive because I want to make it available to as large amount of people as I can that are interested in this topic. So I think it's going to be about 20 bucks. Promotional period is going to cost even less. I plan to give all of my patrons that course for free, and I think that's about it. So once this is finished, there are not going to be any pre-orders or something like that. Once this is finished, and it's going to be finished when it's done, I don't know the date just yet, but I'm planning to make it in the first quarter of the next year, probably sooner. But as for now, this is the only update I'm going to be doing about this until the course is actually fully finished and up on any platform that I'm going to sell it from. So I think that's about it. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments, and also if you have any suggestions for this app, also write them down and I will try to implement the ones that I find interesting or the ones that I feel that will give additional value to this course. So anyway guys, this has been it for this video. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.